Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another fantastic edition of Sitback with Shaq and Anu, right here on our PodHub platforms, and of course going live on Channel 1 Dialogue TV. Lots going on, as always. Just before we start the show, it's pandemonium with these power cuts and whatnot.
And actually, which brings us to a nice little equation. We don't know actually how long we can go live for right now and in the future. But as long as we can bet, we will bet on.
And you know what? This show, even though we've been doing it for like almost 4 seasons now, and for the last 2 seasons, this is our first female guest.
Wow.
So, yeah, actually you are. And also
I can't be happy though. I'm not happy about it.
No, but you should.
No, I'm the first one. That's
No, but,
discriminating.
But also very prominently you are the only female prominently making absolute waves in Parliament. But we will
No,
get
I'm not
there.
in the Parliament anymore.
Yeah, but in
Yeah.
the political scene.
In the political scene.
Yeah.
So, of course, our guest, as you know, is the Hirunika Premachandra in the studio right now with us. We've got lots to talk about and lots to get into. As always, we're going to start off the show with our daily poll. And as always, our poll is always linked to the guest or the topics that we discuss with the guest.
So as you know, the poll is a yes or no answer, which you need to kind of WhatsApp it to this hotline. So here it is. Is gender discrimination the main reason why more women aren't in high political offices? Yes or no? Okay. Once again, is gender discrimination the main reason why more women aren't in high political offices? Yes or no? Please WhatsApp your answer to our hotline 077 669 1590. We will tell you at the end the answer to the poll. Hirunika, what do you think?
I think, in a way, yes. I can take only my example.
Right.
If I take my example, I've been discriminated by men, also women.
Right.
I started politics when I was 24, and I got into Parliament when I was 27.
Yeah.
So there were few female leaders, female parliamentarians who are like really senior to me. So I can remember, when I wanted to talk about some topic in the Parliament, I only had about 4 or 5 minutes. It's ridiculous, but that's how they gave time slots and all that. So I went to the speaker and I complained that I need some more time. And then that he changed that time slots. So I faced few those kind of situations, yes. But because I faced discrimination, so I'm not doing it to my youngsters.
Right.
Because I've been there, I faced that, it definitely affected me. So because of that, my policy is that even in my Samagi Wanita Balawegya women's wing, I always try to give more space to young girls, girls who are around 20s. So I think.
So let's just take you back before you actually joined or got into politics. You had a tragic loss with your father. Clearly, you went through that, and your family went through a lot at that point. Knowing the fact that this is how dangerous politics is, right? Why, as a female, you decided to get into politics in Sri Lanka?
See, at that time, I didn't feel like it's dangerous because I was my only, my only goal was to, win the case.
Right.
So I didn't actually think about, if it's dangerous, if it's not, because that really didn't get into me.
Right.
My main focus was about the case, not even politics.
Right.
In provincial council, actually, I wanted my mom to contest actually.
Okay.
Because everybody was asking us, somebody from the family should contest and all that. That's how the family politics,
Right,
that's how it is.
right.
So I was about 23, 24. And then I told, because I was doing my LLB finals.
Right.
So I told my mother you should contest. But people who are in Kolonnawa,
Yeah.
they said, I mean, public, they like me, and when it's going to be an easy win.
Yeah.
So let's just put her as the contestant. So that's how I got into politics.
And it was an easy win. That was
that's how it is. Like,
Right.
people always think, who's the famous character that person should contest and all that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, actually, given that context, Hirunika, now you got into politics almost accidentally. It was like
Yes.
handed on a platter. But after that, you are making so much wave after wave. So, how did you find your voice? This really strong. Honestly, I have been told by most men and women that you're the only one worth, actually shouting for the people.
See, when I shout, when I go out, when I protest, I don't protest as a politician.
Okay.
I think that's the reason people believe me.
Yeah.
Because when I go out, when I, shout or protest or whatever, people see truth in me, I guess. That
Right.
because I protest as a mother.
Right.
I'm not a politician.
Right.
In those protests. I think that's one of the reasons that people think that I'm purely doing this for people.
Yeah.
I think that's the reason. I think because I have nothing to gain, right?
I was
mean,
just about to ask you that, because look, you're not in the parliament,
yes, exactly.
right? You're not holding any ministry. You're not holding any high office.
And also, I don't know when the next general election is going to come
Going
up.
to be,
Don't worry, you're not the only one.
Pretty much everyone.
Pretty much everyone, we don't know. So why are you on the street? Why are you? What do you gain out of this?
That's. I mean, I have this guilt in me. I don't know if it's okay to say this, but see, my father was Mahinda Rajapaksa. That family is like really close friend.
Right.
And my father's only focus was, only goal was to actually make this person a president, because
Right.
he believed in this guy.
Right.
They were like really close associate. I think more than associate, they were like brothers.
Yeah.
Right.
Those Gotabaya, Basil Rajapaksa, they were not even in the country. So my father was the one who took care of, Colombo electorate, and because he was from Hambantota. He had nobody in Colombo. Colombo was really difficult because Colombo is a UMP, as we know, like a
Stronghold,
UMP, very
yeah.
strong UMP electorate. So because of that, there was none of the politicians like SLFPers were willing to actually come out
Yeah.
and work for Mahinda Rajapaksa. So my
Right.
father was the only one. And I can remember my mother saying that Mrs. Chandrika Bandaranaike, because my father was good friends with Mr. Vijay Kumar Tunga.
Right.
So she said, you're with the wrong person. You're standing with the wrong person. Just leave him and stand with me.
Right.
Then I'll make sure that I'll take care of you.
Right.
Something like that. So my father never betrayed his friend. He had never left him. So after all that, my father, anyway, he really wanted to get Mahinda Rajapaksa to be the president. So now I have that guilt. He was one of the main, people who helped him
Right.
to get into, not politics, to be the president.
Yeah.
Right.
Now I feel like it's my responsibility to chase him away. It's not nice
put
to
it
say
bluntly.
this, but I just feel that guilt in me because my father saw a good man in Mahinda Rajapaksa.
Right.
He never knew that the monster, whatever, the person.
Right.
He didn't know that person.
Right.
So he wholeheartedly, it was pure friendship, and
Right.
he knew that this guy could do something, and he's a good politician.
Right.
But it all just it was an act, I think.
Right.
My father was also, he believed him. So now I just feel like it's my responsibility to that
Get them out.
Yeah, get them out.
Yeah.
And
But it was an act that lasted a good 40 years.
exactly. But now I think that people know. He's a good actor.
Yeah.
Can you remember when we won the war, right?
Yeah.
So I was studying in UK. I was with a bunch of my friends, and I told my friends, that we won the war.
Right.
After 30 years now,
Right.
Sri Lanka is a liberated. We are we are free.
Free.
Yeah.
And then my friend and I showed them that Mahinda Rajapaksa coming down from that the staircase in
Yeah.
flight, and
Yeah.
he was just kissing the
Tarmac, yeah.
The tarmac, yeah.
yeah, and then doing this and that, and then my friend was like, wow, either this guy is a really good politician, like he loves your country, or maybe he's a good actor. That the time will tell you.
Right.
That is so true.
Yeah.
I mean, we were in our 20s, and my
Right.
friend was also in my age, and then he said that. I still talk to my friends, and I was like, my goodness, you saw this coming,
Right.
and you told me that he's a good. I told him, no, I don't think he's a good actor. He loves this country, but it's all
Things changed.
It is what it is.
I mean, where we are right now, I mean, if we basically look at some of the big protests that have actually kick-started, even if you look at the Aragalia right now, it all started with you starting the protest outside the president's house.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't take credit.
What was the reason for that?
The reason was a very simple thing actually. That time the power cut was about 7 to 8 hours,
Yeah.
and then I got a call from a young father.
Right.
He just called me. I was in a meeting. He called me and said, "Hi, is this Hirunika?" I said yes, and then he said, "When are you going to, when are you going to, when are you going to chase these guys away?
Yeah. Right.
We are struggling." And I must say that I voted for Gotabaya Rajapaksa, but now this guy should leave. This guy should just, I either go to America or just leave this position, because my daughter is 4 months and now we have a power cut and she is crying because she's sweaty, she can't sleep. And now I took her with my wife and we are inside the vehicle. I think I wanted to put the AC on, and now I'm scared tomorrow I have to go to work.
Right.
The food will,
If you have enough
finish.
fuel.
Yeah.
Right.
So and then that really got into me. I mean, I just felt like that call actually changed, and I didn't sleep that night, to be honest.
Right.
I think I slept about around 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning because I was thinking, what should I do? And then that day I just felt like, there's a huge, people are very scared of Rajapaksas. I don't know why.
Right.
I mean, for some reason. First thing, to make sure that fear is no more. I mean, I should do something about that first. And then I called one of my associates in the Samagi Vanita, and I told her, I have this plan with me. I think we should go in front of his private president.
Right.
And then ask him to come out, and we'll start from there. That's how it started actually.
So what?
Yeah.
So go on.
Sorry, actually, when you decided to do that, what was the SJB's response?
I didn't tell him.
Yeah, I figured. That's
Yeah, we realized.
So far, whatever I've done, I didn't tell anyone because it's not that our leader, he wouldn't agree with me.
Yeah.
I mean, he never asks what I do because he thinks that I take responsibility of whatever I do, and sometimes he's scared of my safety.
Right.
Sometimes he just advised me not to take any rational decisions and all that. But I don't tell anyone what I do.
So this is a message that actually came in about 5 minutes before we started the show, and I told Hirunika that I'm going to read this out, and this is I'm reading word to word. It says, "Hi, not too sure whether you'll be seeing this before the show with Hirunika today. All the best with the show. Enjoy it while we're looking forward to it. Please pass this personal message to her. We're in a dire need for women leadership. This country needs her for the future. Right now, she's too exposed to danger, risking her own life. We don't want to lose her. I'm sure her 3 beautiful children and her caring husband will not wish for that. I'm sure this is not only my concern right now. I believe most of the non-communal Sri Lankans wish her long life to serve the nation in a more meaningful way. So let her focus more on a strategic role right now rather than choosing confrontational politics. I see that is isolated here. Please tell her that I will call her, of course, with the same message."
So sweet.
right?
Is that a lady or a...
Asif Shukri.
Oh.
So Asif, thank you very
so
much.
That's so sweet.
We did read the
fact
message
that
out.
people are really like concerned
Absolutely
about my
concerned.
safety and
Yeah. But actually, Hirunika, the thing is, without this confrontational attitude, nothing really gets done, does it?
That because that's how things are in Sri Lanka. That's how politics are in Sri Lanka. So we can do all that when one day, I really hope one day we can do all that. Like if we are in England or if we are in USA or some country like that, then we can do that kind of politics. But here, people want they are looking for a leader who just who takes everything and just go forward and fight with these corrupt politicians. I think people want that. So I think that's one of the reasons that they all believe in me, because I always go in front of someone's house or go in front of someone's office and ask them to come out.
But they're not at home.
Yeah, but see, that's the thing. But today he was at President's house.
Yeah.
So that's where you went.
Actually, that's so ridiculous.
Okay, so before we get into that, right? That is a video that obviously went all over social media today. If you didn't get to see it, that means you're certainly living under a rock.
Yes.
But we will play that video for you. Here we go. Let's have it.
මේ තුන් දෙනෙක් ආවා මෙතන මේ ඉස්සරහට මේ ඇතුළට යන්න මේ පාරට සාමාන්‍ය මිනිස්සුන්ට යන්න පුළුවන් මේ පොලිසිය මොකක්ද මේ සෙල්ලම මේ මිනිස්සුන්ගේ මොකක් ආරක්ෂා කරන්නේ මම අපි මේක ඇතුළට මේ කාව ජනාධිපති මේක සාමාන්‍ය මෙච්චර බය මොකද ආපු මේ මේ නිකන් ආපු දෙකට ඒක තමයි අර මේගොල්ලෝ යන්නේ කොහොමද බැංකුවට යනවා නම් මගේ බෝතලේ ගන්නවා නැත්නම් මට ගල්ල ගන්න බෑ ඇයි බැංකුවට යන්න බැරි අපි මේ ඔට්ටු දාන්නේ නැන්ද ස්පෝටින් දාන්නේ අපිට වැඩක් කරගන්න නැති බැංකුවට යන්න ඕනේ මේ පුදුම වැඩක් නෙමෙයි මේ ඇතුලේ බැංකුවක් තියෙනවා බැංකුවට යන්න හදනකොට ඒකට යන්න දෙන්නේ නැහැ මේ මිනිස්සුන්ට බැංකුවට යන්න ඕනලු අපි ඒකට මේගොල්ලෝ යන්න දෙන්නේ නැහැ දැන් මේ මම ආවා කියලා මෙතන තුන් දෙනෙක් එක්ක ආවේ යන්නේ පොලිසිය ප්‍රමාණය පොලිසිය ප්‍රමාණය කරා අද බැංකුවට යන්න දෙන්නේ
What really happened there? I mean, was this something else that you planned?
Oh, these policemen are so childish. I mean, they're ridiculous. Okay, so basically, there's this social media activist, my friend. He was summoned by the CID to give a statement
Right.
on something he had done because he has a YouTube channel. So I went there to support him because they're my friends from Aragale also.
Right.
So I went there and then I had very little bit of petrol today.
Right.
I mean today after this incident because I went to Chatham Street, so my petrol is gone. So I came with one of my friends to here. So I went there and then I asked my driver to park the vehicle somewhere around that President's that road. I can't remember. Yes, that around. I mean that area. So my vehicle was there. So I was walking towards my vehicle, and my friend, she said, "Oh, I just remembered I wanted to get some money out from the ATM in People's Bank."
Right.
So we were about to go there, and they saw me.
Right.
There were only about 4 or 5 policemen, and then suddenly, like I don't know, 10, 20 policemen came there and just closed the whole that street. Public road. There are banks, there are offices somewhere.
Because of you.
Yeah, they saw me and they were like, I was so angry.
Right.
Because there were people who wanted to just cross that road.
Right.
There was this father who wanted to give lunch to his son.
Right.
They didn't allow that person to go in.
Right.
Because I was there. And apparently one of the policemen said to the normal people, let's wait till she leaves, then we can open this. I don't know what to say, seriously.
So do you realize the fact that you have created this? I mean, people. I mean, not people. I'm talking about forces or the police or whatever. They actually fear you wherever you go.
I mean, I was just wearing a kurta top and just jeans, nothing. Weapons.
Actually, actively trying to become a background.
No, nothing. Yeah. Because maybe they're scared. I mean, because there were about 5 barricades. So I have to pass 5 barricades to go to President's house.
So they would have realized that this is the first wave that is coming, and there's more female or ladies coming after you.
I think after, because see, I feel like only mothers can chase this guy away.
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel that.
Why?
That because most of the men are very distracted by what color they're going to wear to the cricket match and.
No, that's very
No,
interesting.
please go say it. I think we had this conversation on the phone also.
I to say that, but if you take a full queue, you'll see that it's such a party there.
Right.
I mean, so I don't know. I mean, people have to pass time, but there are, alcohol. Correct. And people are playing cards and chess, just having a good time.
But what else do you expect them to do? They're there for hours.
But have you seen women who are queuing for, gas or whatever? Yeah. Have you seen them doing that?
Right.
Because that's a real struggle to them.
Right.
But if you take men, I'm not saying that men are not feeling the same way, but in a way, I just feel like mothers do feel this very strongly, because when they go to the kitchen, when they, with the switch off the gas, they're thinking when it's going to, finish,
right,
and what I'm going to do after that. So I think most of the mothers, like in this country, women are struggling so much. But if women, so even if you see Aragalaya, have you seen this young crowd, mainly women, the way they're protesting are completely genuine. The way they're expressing
from the heart.
From the heart.
Actually, it's not fun for them.
Yeah,
this is not
it's not fun. Yeah. So they are not. That's I think this is about time that women come out, and I think we can do a huge difference.
Actually, what I want to ask was, this country has more women than men.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, population-wise. Why is it that so few female leaders come forward, and even when they do, why are they not voted in? What is holding women from voting for a strong woman?
Yeah, that I have no idea, because I face the same thing. Even the last election also, women, they don't vote for another woman. I don't know what's the reason behind it, to be honest. And also when we talk about women representation, so recently, you can remember what has happened to me. I mean, there were 7 or 8 guys who were arrested from Aragalaya, and then all over the Facebook and all over this social media, people are talking about my exposed breast.
Absolutely.
I mean, a person with right mind would never allow his lady, his mother or his wife to come into get into politics, right?
Right. Yeah. Right.
I mean, it's a mud pit, and people. A husband wouldn't allow his wife to get into politics. I mean, why would anyone listen to this?
And it's absolutely unhealthy obsession with female form.
And I was telling one of my friends, this is ridiculous. People are like. These people are getting arrested, and all these things, and people are hanging on my.
Seriously, actually, there's a huge problem happening all around us. And my wife and I actually spoke about it. What on earth is
people are? They don't know the priority.
Right.
Their priority. They are easily. All these big media can easily. Manipulate them.
It is distraction tactics.
Yeah.
We do have a question coming in from Guyana. Why don't you try and get 200,000 people behind you to protest somewhere the president is and ask him to leave?
Yeah, that will happen in very near future.
Yeah, I think the SJB is planning, street-wide protests very soon.
We are going to do it, yes.
Now, going back to it's a very important point that you said, that it's only the mothers that can actually get the president out at the moment, right? Now, you mobilized the female population a fair amount. You also right now have got lots of females standing behind you.
And lots of men too.
And lots of men too. I mean, today when we basically posted up saying that you're coming today, and everyone said, listen, she's got more guts than the both of you put together.
And, actually,
right?
It was on both our Facebook, and they also went on to say that you're the only one actually with guts in this whole scenario.
I'll tell you the reason.
Yeah.
See, I don't have any kind of, I would say allegations. I've never robbed anyone. I don't have any. I don't have to be scared of anything. You know?
Right.
So, scared of getting arrested or scared of. I mean, I think that's one of the reasons, because they can't tackle me. They can't do anything to me right now because they can't find anything.
Right.
That's one of the reasons that I can go out and I can just argue with them or confront them. I think that's the reason, but I'm not saying that everyone's like that. But there are few good people, good politicians from every side, every party. I think we all should. This is not about party politics anymore.
Right.
Everyone should get out. See, the problem is if SJB is doing a protest, other JVP or TNA, I mean, they are not. I mean, they're not happy with it, to be honest.
Right.
Even today that I faced something like that, I got a message from someone I know. They're saying, okay, now Hirunika is doing this, and a person who voted for JVP, and she is doing it, and the SJB will, rise up. So we should do something. That's not the way.
Right.
We should understand who are common enemies, right?
Right.
So I think we all should get together. First thing, to chase this guy away. And that's the first thing. And after that, we can go to a general election or whatever, and then people can decide who they want to vote, right?
But the president has said that he is not going to step down, and we have seen many protests so far from all the political parties. We have also seen Gota Gogama set up. Nothing is happening.
The reason is that if we stay for another 2 weeks without, after 9th of May, he should have gone, but Ranil Rajapaksa came and gave some oxygen.
that wasn't a mistake, was it?
No, I call him Ranil Rajapaksa.
So you also personally believe that the current Prime Minister decided to take this on to safeguard the Rajapaksas?
Of course. Now I'll tell you one by one. He has a problem with SJP. The reason is that he has this feeling, we crossed over. I mean, we didn't cross over, we just started a new party.
Right.
Because of that, formed a new party. Because of that, the UMP, it's just there's no UMP anymore.
Right.
So he thought if he becomes Prime Minister, then half of the SJPs would join him,
right,
and then he can break this party. But it never happened. The other reason is he got into the parliament when he was 27, and from the day one he had never been a parliament member of parliament. He has always been either a minister, a deputy minister, opposition leader, or prime minister. So he can't stay as a member of parliament. That's one of the reasons. Backbencher. And the other thing is the relationship with these Rajapaksas. If we really care about his party, now he broke his own promise. What he promised? He promised that whoever contested, if that person, if that person loses, then that the person can't get a
seat in the parliament.
He said that, and he waited for 1 year. And then what he said, he wanted to, because UMP is, it's unpopular now. He just want to do something to, for the party.
Right.
That's what he said. If he really cares about the party, there's Ruwan, there's Akila, who are youngsters. They can do something, right? This guy is about 8 years old. I mean, he can do something. I mean, if he offered that seat to one of those people, can't them do anything for the party?
Actually, at one point it looked like Ruwan might be it didn't happen.
It never happened. So, it's all about, he always cared about, he's a very good, I've talked to him, I know how brilliant he is. He's a very strategic minded person. But he always if he never put those into good use. Always to protect
for himself.
His seat. Protect his
Do you think actually right now is he protecting the Rajapaksas, or is he, in your opinion, is Ranil Wickremesinghe protecting the Rajapaksas, or is he doing a massive publicity campaign to get the UNP back into favor?
Yeah, that also can be, yes. Yeah. That's also true. If you see the social media, the UMPers, the way they putting posts and comments and all that, and also what he said, he has friends all over the world, and he can get dollars. It's the way he talks is like the dollars are just coming just on the way, but he can have many friends. That's not the point. They would never help a country where there's no stability, right? No political, we are not stable. Politically, nothing is stable in the country, right? So nobody will help that. He knows that.
So why did your friends who are with you, Harin Fernando, Manusha, basically decide to take that step and go and help the Prime Minister?
I think they thought that along with them there are going to be about 20-25 people are going to cross over. And that didn't happen. And I think Harin always, he never thinks from here, he thinks from here, as I know. And he's very, he doesn't think much. So because of that, Manusha took advantage of it. That's what I think. Because the relationship with the Rajapaksas, the Manusha has a good relationship with Rajapaksas. But unfortunately, these guys had a really good future. Now, the Pohoto people are not going to vote for them. Who will? No, nobody. Because there are enough people there. And SJP are not going to vote for them. UMP, they don't have votes. So what are they going to do? They have completely ruined their political careers. That's what I think.
Next general election, Hirunika, what do you think is going to happen? I personally feel that a lot of people are just going to be at home.
But the Pohotu voters, like the complete,
the base,
established base kind of voters, they would never change. So because of that, all this Johnston and Rohita Begunawadan, all these people will come. That won't change, I think. But there will be new faces.
That's what the country wants.
Some of them from Maragalia, some of them from these, professionals.
And more
there will be new faces, and also old people, old crooks also will be there.
Old crooks. We have an interesting question from Sevandi. Anu.
So, before the next elections, would you seek advice from Nyanakka? This is Sevandi who's asking this question.
She should take advice from me.
Now that was also something that you mobilized. What was the reason behind it?
I don't think most of the people knew about Nyanakka.
Right.
But I knew about her because some of the SJBs are also going to her.
But
they're
really?
not going there anymore.
Not anymore.
Come on, like when I go there, Nyanakka can't, whoever the protector who's with her can't find out that I'm going there, or there's no point, right? So this is how the country is. The person who lived in USA for 30 or more years, and person who studied there, the 4 families there, I heard that the son is working in NASA.
Right.
And that guy is ruling the country, and this black magic woman is actually advising this guy. What are we doing in this country?
But would you actually put the entire onus on the president? Because now the country wants the president to go. Now the president has his advisors. The president has never been in politics before. Now, but unfortunately, it looks like that they have, disbanded the president, and he's standing on his own. He's like, what the hell did I get myself into right now?
Right now he looks more and more like a puppet,
In my case, see, if I was never in politics, if I was just working in a fuel station in America, in USA, if I know my capacity, I would have never got into politics. That's the first step. If someone's asking you to get into politics just because you're a Rajapaksa, I mean, that person has to have some decent amount of, sense.
Right.
Yeah.
That I can't do this.
Right.
To understand that he can't do it. And not only him, even Mahindra Rajapaksa, he had been in politics more than 40 years.
Yeah.
More than us, he must have known what kind of a brother that guy is.
Right.
And all these Rajapaksas, they knew he's the most, gullible, most, I mean, he was the most. He didn't know politics. Like he was not the politician.
Right.
He was the weakest Rajapaksa. So knowing that, to portray him, show him as the savior of the country, Mahaseno, Diyasen of the country, and all that. Just because his name is Gotabe, he's from some kind of a
Dynasty,
historic Pelapat and all that.
Yeah.
So because of that, the whole country, they fooled the whole country.
Yeah.
That's what they did.
Actually, you're right. But what part did the SJB, as the previous government, play in that? Because there was distinct valor against.
Rajapaksa.
Against your government then,
yes,
which went
against
towards the
our government.
Rajapaksa,
Yeah.
what would have been perhaps a normal majority became a 2/3 majority. I mean,
I'll tell you the reason.
Yeah.
This is I don't think I have ever I've never mentioned this before. Now we were with Ranil, no?
Right.
We were the youngsters, myself, Harshana, Kavinda, we all of them were. He was our leader. And then when Harin and all of them wanted Sajith Premadasa to contest
Right.
as a presidential candidate, Ranil Wickremesinghe didn't like it.
Right.
Okay, so what he did was he asked all our youngsters, young parliamentarian to come. It was a big thing to us.
Right.
He never talks to us, right? So him talking to us personally, asking us to come and meet him personally, and then what he told us was, you can ask Kavind if you want, us was, you are not going to join with Sajith Premadasa. I'm going to be the candidate.
Yeah.
So whatever the Harin and all those guys can do whatever they want, but you're not allowed to go to the first day, the day that we were the introduction day, right?
Right.
And then we were like, okay, we are not going because he was the leader, no?
Right.
And then Sujiva called me and said, did he ask you not to go? I said yes. And then he said he did the same thing to us when we were youngsters. He can manipulate you guys very easily because you are young and you're the first timers. And then when the Prime Minister talked to you personally and called you all the time, and it's a big thing to us.
Yeah.
So he said, don't get into his trap, just join with us. But still we didn't. But he promised us, don't worry, whatever he can do. I'm not going to appoint him as the candidate. And after 2-3 days, we didn't even know, he just appointed Sajith Premadasa as the candidate, and we were out of. We are not even that team. We are not this team.
Stranded.
Yeah,
right.
That's what he did.
Right.
So that day I realized what kind of a person he is.
Yeah.
So after that, I know personally how much what he had done to make sure that Sajith loses.
Yeah.
First, he came out and said, "I'm going to be the Prime Minister." Can you remember?
Yeah,
and
right,
then
yeah.
he talks about this IMF, not IMF, that what is that deal with
the Americans?
The Americans.
Yes, yeah.
He said that. And also, I know how much Sajith Premadasa, he worked so hard. I think inside him he knew that he's going to lose, but he worked so hard. He did about more than 500 meetings everywhere. And on the other part was, all this major media, whatever Sajith Premadasa said in a meeting, they'll just take some small part from that and just make a meme out of it, or do something on social media and make sure that people think that this guy is whatever he's talk nonsense.
Right.
That's what happened.
Right.
See, I didn't know about Sajid Premadasa back then because we were not that close.
Right.
But after becoming the, I'm the I would say national organizer in Women's Wing, and then I worked very closely with him, and I realized he's a very good person with good heart.
Right.
He has a good heart.
Right.
But whatever he says, he always say, whatever I do, I'm going to do. I'm not going to go and attack anyone. I always believe in peace and harmony. So that's his mindset. That's what he thinks.
Can you do that in a country like this?
Because he's a good gentleman. That's why. That's the reason.
But gentlemanly politics in Sri Lanka is like bringing a knife to a gunfight.
Mr. Sajid, I always say that you're not suitable for a country like this.
House of Commons.
Maybe you should go to USA or UK and do politics there, because he always talk about, whatever do constitutionally we should do this, it's all about peace and all that. See, this is the reason people think that I have more backbone than him. Because I always go and see, because of my age or maybe because of that, this is my nature, this is how I behave.
Right.
But this is how, that's how he behaves. But he never tells me, you shouldn't do all this. He's concerned about my safety. That's all. So whatever I do, he never tells me to do this and that. But he's a very good gentleman. I find it very easy to work with him, because when I was with Mr. Ranil Wickremesinghe, I had never chance to actually argue with him.
Yeah.
See, in our meetings, I literally argue with our leader, and he listens to us. And we have enough space, enough democracy, enough. We can work, do whatever we like in the party, which is amazing.
That's great. That's the kind of politics we all dream of.
Just before we get to that question, I think.
I want to read that out too.
Go for it.
Okay, let me tell this first. This is lovely. Please tell Hirunika that I'm so very proud of her. Love and blessings to her and her family. This is Corinne Almeida who is sending this message.
A legend.
I like her so much.
Yeah, so this is everyone's obviously.
Her son is really handsome.
Brandon.
Yes. I've seen him on YouTube.
Right.
Anyway, so to get back to that question, I'm just saying that's very nice, that kind of gentlemanly atmosphere. But Sri Lankan politics has, for the longest time, has had a strong man or a strong woman at the top, and this is a fundamental need amongst voters also. Podak nika Singha Leelawa tiyena pondak konda keli hita ara nikan maha kalu sinhalaya wage peenna tiyenna one. How does that work?
Because at ancient days that we are so used to be governed by all these kings and all that. So because that still Sri Lankans are people's mentalities. They are looking for a Diyasen and a Vihara Mahadevi and all that. A person who will come from out of nowhere and rescue this nation.
Right.
One person can't do this.
Absolutely.
We should have a system and good bunch of people who can do this. So I think that bunch of people are in SJP. If you take Harsha, if you take Iran, if you take SF, if there are enough people who can do a difference. So I think this time people shouldn't think about one person. Nobody can't come and rescue you. We should take care of ourselves.
Right.
It's about changing the system, changing the laws.
True. But Hirunika, now let me go back to a point that you mentioned earlier. Like you said that when you all do something that Anukumar Disanayaka, the JVP or other parties get a little upset. But are you very inclusive of them? Because aren't you all upset if they...
Not really. I would love if they can join us.
Right.
There are really good ladies over there. Harini, Nirupa, there are really good ladies there. If they can come and join us, it will be wonderful. And this is what we need right now, because as I told you before, there's about party politics anymore. First, let's just save the country. And to that, if SJP is doing another protest over somewhere and TN is doing a protest there, JP is, why can't we all get together? That's the whole point here.
I think leadership is the issue, right?
See, that's the thing.
Yeah.
People, these now, as I told you before, there's not going to be any saviors.
Yeah.
First, we need to win this battle first,
Absolutely.
and then after that, maybe all the good people can get together and at least govern for 6 or 7 months, and finish all these queues and all that, and then after that we can get into a general. I mean, we can go to a general election.
Absolutely.
And then now people are saying all the 225 is, corrupted. We don't need them anymore. Then choose new ones.
Yeah,
It's up to them, no?
That's right. That's right.
Hirunika, so you have daughters, right?
2 daughters, 1 son.
Yeah. Would you approve of your daughter, especially, or even the son, getting into politics at some stage?
See, at the moment they're really young.
Yeah.
4, 3, 1.5.
Yeah.
4 is my son. So, whatever. The first thing is they need to get some really good education, and then after that, if they really want to get into politics. See, I got into politics because of my father's demise, but he was never there to help me. So after his death, I had to, even though I was a politician's daughter, I had to do all by myself.
Yeah.
I had to polish my speech. I have to, I had to do everything by myself because my mother was not in politics.
Absolutely.
So here, the children can get spoiled when the father or the mother is still
already
there,
in
always,
politics.
in politics.
Right.
So I think even my kids, if they want to get into politics, that's fine. But I don't think they're very keen on that. Now I can understand. My 4-year-old son, he would never allow me to go out.
Right.
He doesn't like me going out. Whenever I wear a sari, he knows that I'm going out.
Right.
So he gets he start a tantrum. And
Right.
But my second one, who's 3 years old, she also gets ready.
Oh, right.
She loves
Right.
people. She
Right.
loves to go out. She loves to say Jayava and all that. So I think she might get into politics that day because she's the only one who I can see who's interested.
There's so much that we can actually talk about. Unfortunately, Hirunika, it's just done with the time. There's so many things that we wanted to basically ask you, but you know what? There will be some stuff that is actually going to be coming up on social media. The stuff that you didn't see, which we'll most probably have it right now. But before we do go, we asked you a poll on the beginning. Why do I keep saying morning? Every show I keep saying morning.
Shaq, you have done the morning show on radio for 20 years.
So here is the poll that we had. Anu, take it away.
Okay, so what we asked you earlier was, is gender discrimination the main reason why more women aren't in high political offices? A yes or no answer was required to be WhatsApp to our hotline 07766691590, and this is where it stands. Yes.
Oh.
So clearly a lot of people feel this because 89% say gender discrimination is the main reason why more women aren't in high political
Actually,
offices.
not even politics. Every profession
Any
is
state,
like that.
in the public
In
service.
media, in law, in everywhere.
Yeah. It seems
Like
like an
that.
old boys club, doesn't it? I mean,
Yeah.
most of it's not just in Sri Lanka. I think it's South Asian politics too.
But if you take Pakistan, there are huge amount of women who are in politics. Yeah. But I don't know what's going on.
We'll see how far we actually do go with it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. We need to say good night right now, but a couple of things that we need to let you in on. There is a change as far as our time is concerned, purely because the fact that Anu and I do not have any fuel to come to the show, to come to the shows anymore. None of our guests want to come to the shows anymore because they have no fuel.
It's not fair to us.
It's not fair. It's not fair. So basically, from tomorrow, our show is going to start at 10 o'clock in the night, right? And we are going to go online, and all our guests are going to be online until some sort of normalcy returns. They say the 10th of July, but then again, they have said many things before. So we will see what actually happens.
Don't keep any hopes.
On that note, I think we need to say good night. Thank you so much, Hirunika. Thank you so much for being a part of the show.
It was fun. I thought it's going to be very.
No, not at all.
No. That's what everybody says. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. Thanks so much, ladies and gentlemen. Have yourself a good night. We'll see you tomorrow night at 10 p.m.
Bye-bye.